It's not about motivation. Winners need discipline. Wake up and win today. Discipline comes from within.
King Media in association with Boxraw. Sonny Edwards, we're out here at the gym in Sheffield. Dalton Smith, Zepeda, a big fight for your stablemate, and also you've got Ishmael Davis, who you work closely with as well. We'll speak about Dalton first. How hard is this fight?
Yeah, I think it's a very hard fight. I think it's a big step up. I think Dalton's more than capable. He's a very, very, very top-level talented fighter, but it's definitely a big step up from, I don't know, your Billy Allertons and your Sam Maxwell's. Zepeda can hit really hard. I was over there when Hitchens beat him, and he stayed every bit away from him as possible when you could see that was his plan from round one. And he might have needed to be honest, because, Zepeda can really hit hard, and he's shown that when someone sits there and has a fight with him, he gives them every bit that they ask for. So, yeah, I think it's a hard fight. Obviously, we've got a lot of belief in Dalton. But I think more is gained for Dalton here in his head, in his heart, in his experience, what he's put himself through. Coming through winning this, a lot of boxes are ticked. Maybe not, the most impressive win to market and promote, and oh my God, he beat this guy. Yeah, maybe that's not like the payoff for this fight. But, if he gets through this fight, a tough fighter, southpaw, hits very hard. He's ticked a lot of the boxes at fringe world level as well. So, yeah, at the same time, it's a great, acid test for where Dalton is, because he's been way too good for the level he's been at. Way too good.
Will this play into his mind? Because obviously there's already, people out there. Some people are saying it's a hard fight, but some are saying, he's got him at the right time. You as a fighter, you will have fought people, and people in the background would have said, I think you've just got this guy right. Is that like a dangerous mindset to go into against a guy that's known as a puncher and only lost to top level fighters?
Yeah, of course, but we don't pay no mind to what random people's opinions are. We know the dynamic and the scope of the task at hand probably in a lot more detail than someone who's just watched him a couple of times on TV or just tweets about it and watches interviews and highlight videos. So we know the risk, we know the step up, we know the challenge, we know how it can go well, how it can go wrong. But I think he's expecting a very hard fight. He's prepared. I've seen him prepare very, very well for this fight. Been very on it from a long time out. He was over with me in Tenerife both times through training camp, even though they weren't sparring because of his cut on his eyes. So he's been training, he's been active, he's in tremendous shape, and he's got a lot of confidence. But Dalton, as an 18, 19-year-old kid, is getting chucked in the deep end and fighting 3 times Olympic medalists and world champions from Cuba in 5-round fights, and probably could have got the decision, lost like a 3 rounds to 2 on the WSB. 18, 19, Dalton would do that going in against Toledo and anyone else. So him at 27, 28 now. He's 27 now. He's 27. He's a whole year below me, and a month. So I'm January, he's February, but he's actually got the same birthday as my brother, actually. Yeah. But, like I said, he rises to the challenge. He's never been weary of getting into a boxing ring, so I don't think he'll be expecting or playing on a faded fighter, because that's not the impression of Zepeda we have in our gym. Dalton's been out to Zepeda's gym and trained with Manny Robles, so it's even, a bit more. He's really been there. He knows how he trains and prepares, etc. So it's a great fight. It's a great opportunity for them both, really. But if Dalton wants to be a world champion in the next 12, 18 months, you'd think he's got to beat Zepeda. If not, a longer route. And that's boxing. That's boxing.
And I hope the fans give him the respect for taking a fight like this, because like you said there, no disrespect to Billy Allen, to jump from that level to this, it's a massive jump. So I hope he gets the respect, because he could have just sat around.
And Billy Allen's just gone over to Canada and got a win, didn't he? In the away corner against unbeaten kids. So look, that sometimes fights age even better, a lot of the time. And Billy Allen probably would have learned a hell of a lot from that experience with Dalton, because he weren't competitive, but he took a lot of hammer and survived and rode it out, and now he's in the ring of someone that's not as good as Dalton. How much more confidence he's got. And that's what I was talking about before with Dalton and Zepeda, that Dalton has a 12-round fight against a recognised good level fighter. It gives you all the confidence in the world going forward. Do you know what I mean?
So moving on to Ishmael Davis, a lot of people use the term being an old school fighter. I think this is as old school as it gets, because you got to rate Ishmael Davis, because he's obviously had a difficult kind of he's kind of been fast-tracked. He's been thrown in at the deep end. And I think I get the feeling he kind of likes that and buzzes off that. To fight Troy Williamson in like a second TV fight back-to-back, that's a big move, that.
The only reason Ishmael got the Matchroom debut against Ewan McKenzie is because he said yes to fighting Troy when Adjiako weren't. Then what happened was we said yes. 48 hours later, Troy's got a fight with Adjiako because they made it over the line. And now because Ish had accepted Troy, who's been getting avoided by everyone else, Matchroom offered him a fight against Ewan McKenzie, beat him. The next offer, Troy, he said yes again because Ish fears no man. They changed it from 10 rounds to 12 rounds. Not they, I'm not talking about they in anyone in particular. We were trying to push for a title or something because, yeah, I think it is quite a great fight. Unbeaten kid that's getting a little bit of hype about him and been a sparring partner, so many great fighters, a lot of good high-level gym stories. I don't really count for nothing, but... and against someone, former British champion, had big fights, you know, Troy Williamson has had British title fights, international title fights, big events, headlined, and done 12 rounds over and over and over and over again. As soon as Ish got offered the 10 to 12 round increase, even though he's never been over 8 rounds in his professional career before, he took it straight away, snapped it up.
How's he dealing with, I don't use the word fame, but do you know what I mean? Like the extra eyes and the extra people tapping his shoulder, because that's going to come with it, especially if he beats Troy.
Yeah, no, you got to remember, Ishmael's, very working class. See you later. Very working class, very come from, I don't want to say nothing, I'd be disrespectful, but, I know Ishmael's story and his background, it's not mine to tell, but from the position he's in now, of course he's an old school fighter. He's got nothing to lose. Nothing. 7-8 years ago, we was in a complete different world to where he's in now. He's changed his whole life around. He's got his family proud of him, his kids proud of him, his dad, everyone proud of him, his uncle proud of him, family proud of him, friends proud of him. So he's in a position now where he's involved in what he's always wanted to be involved in. The top echelons of proper premier level boxing, sport, an athlete, someone to be proud of. So I don't think he's taking it in his stride and inflating his ego. If anything, I think, if someone stops him and asks him for a picture, you know what I mean? It's, from where he's been from, that should never have been the case, you know what I mean? And I'm so proud of him. And no matter what happens in this fight, no matter what happens in any other fight, I will always push him and support him and give him the best I can of
Just a slight interruption with Sandy Ryan, and just kind of jumping on that. I think it's a good example that with Ish, a lot of people get judged on their past and past decisions they made in the past. I think it's a good example of somebody who can turn it around.
At the end of the day, okay, everyone's got their different versions of what that is, but no one lives a life of where they're proud of themselves every single day. It's impossible. I guarantee if a lot of people had his first 14 years in life, they probably wouldn't have in his next 14 years turned it to this. I'll be real. I'll be real. His story will bring a tear to people's eyes. Genuinely, without, making it all about that. Like I said, that's his story, that's his life, that's his background. But I'm just immensely proud of him and how he handles, when they're making fights harder by adding more rounds or they're giving you fight. Like, he took his first TV fight. You're saying it was a throw-in of his first TV fight. He took his first TV fight against Troy. In the middle of him, Troy's getting avoided. In the middle of that, he went, I'll fight him. Sound, yeah, can I go on that card? Yeah, let's go. Away, 2 hours away, sold fucking 20 grand worth of tickets or something. Over 200 grand of tickets. Like, he killed it. Killed it-ish, so of course they would work with him again. And I like this though. If win, lose or draw, you get a fight and then you get offered another fight. You lose at this level, get offered a fight at this level. Lose at that level, get offered a fight. As long as you keep saying yes, turning up, being professional and giving good value for money, celebrate that fight. Don't worry about their record, because you'll remember them, you'll recognize them when they get, Ishmael, I remember seeing him fight against him. Even if some of them were losses. Like, people don't actually care as much about, apart from just like a little tweet, he's finished because he lost once. So we will, they've been sparring partners before years ago, so they know of each other, they've done 10 rounds with each other, so, you know what I mean? It's an opportunity for both of you to change your lives. The winner will be fighting for the British next, because it's a voluntary, and the man will get called straight away, so, the winner of the fight on Saturday will be seeing the British champion, so I think it's a great opportunity for both fighters. People forget as well, Troy is a friend of mine since GB days. Me and Troy, we'd be in Finland. Now we're not in the tournament no more, going on nights out. When I'm 18, 19 years old, Troy's a bit older, on the GBs with him. His brother come down and see me, check me, come to my house, like friends with Troy as well. So it's not personal on this, and I want and wish the best for Troy, and anything I can help him with whilst he's in Sheffield, and I will. It's not in control of me to win for Ish. That's him. I will help him, provide him. He's my fighter, so he's on that side of the fence. But I also want his opponent to have every opportunity. I've had a good camp, and both get the chance to one push on, and the other one get to come back. And I think it's a great fight for that. And I think also there's been a great reception. I think this fight, I've been involved in a lot of fighters with fights coming up. And okay, to say this isn't a Lyndon going to Saudi to fight Bivol, a lot of people have gone to me about this fight. Fucking hell, Ish fighting Troy, that's a wicked fight, that, because they know what both their styles look like. If anyone's seen them, they know what both their styles look like. And if they haven't seen Ish, it's because he's not been seen enough. Most people have seen Troy.
Both want blood.
Well, they both only fight one way, really. They go in there, they let heavy hands go, and they take a shot and they throw one back. They don't feel sorry for themselves. They're real fighting men, and yeah, may the best man win.
Respect to both of them. I'm looking forward to a really good fight. And I can't let you go without speaking to you about this morning. You was on Twitter, this big drama between yourself and Curtis Woodhouse. How did it end? Did Curtis turn up to the gym, and how did it end?
But you're saying that, but last week my brother got his comeback announced.
I'm going to come to that as well.
You said we got him back.
No.
I mean, there's probably a lot we can talk about.
I want to talk about your fight. I'm coming to your brother as well, but I want to slip in this Curtis Woodhouse thing.
Yeah, man, there's not really much to comment on, to be honest. No, sometimes it's like, for the people that care, yeah, we see
Shake hands.
We see each other today, man. We see each other today.
Did it end with, without going into it, did it end with shaking hands?
No comment.
All right, okay.
No comment how it ended.
I'm sure it'll pop up on Twitter at some point, but your brother's back. A year or so ago, people were trying to stir you both to fight each other, but thankfully that's not happened. He's now fighting on Channel 5. What's the deal? Is he basically signed with Wasserman, or is he just going to be like kind of freelancing type of thing?
Yeah, they've signed him. And looking forward to getting behind him. Look, they've headlined him, York Hall. I'll be real, like I half dropped it to Nissa, saying, you've got my brother there, you've just signed Lerone, York Hall, two good fighters, are actually a good standard, proper fighters from a young age, you'll be able to do something with, and then 6 months later, that's what's happened, so far less than that. But really buzzing for my brother to be back, top of a poster, home fighter, hometown, title fight, championship rounds, TV, interviews. Like, I'm buzzing because the Edwards name means a lot to me. Even when I don't like my brother, even when we're arguing, yeah, the Edwards name still means stuff to me, where I won't block his career, or I won't try and do anything negative towards his career. If anything, I'll still make sure there's positive, even though we're not speaking. Because my last name, I want my kids to grow up and be proud to be an Edwards, to be so proud to be an Edwards. I want them to try and emulate and do better than what me and my brother did. I want my kid to grow up in boxing, hopefully. If they want, and if they want to do it right now, they're flying. But
what route do you think your brother will go down? Like, obviously he's got this, like, it's a decent comeback fight as well.
Yeah, and of course, former European champion. He had that sort of 6-rounder on a small hall for the first time in his life, that small hall show, when he was getting ill-advised and the wrong people. And that same person advising him was telling him to call out me on my announcement day because then it would steal all the attention. Like, you know what I mean? So, but I might deserve that because I said something about him. So obviously, there's no action without a reaction. So I get it, but. Yeah, like I said, proud of him. We'll always do anything for him to make sure his career does the best for him and my relationship with him. But outside of that, for my last name, I'll be real, like, I could not like him and still want him to do well, because I want my kids to look at their uncle and look up to him. Not, I thought Charlie was a boxer, why doesn't Uncle Charlie fight, really? No, I don't want that. He's still got years left. What route he goes will be up to who will fight him. WBC, I put him in the rankings. I've got Thomas Asomba. If Channel 5 want to make an offer for him, we've got offers on the table from elsewhere. But, that's the fight I would do and deliver for both fighters.
Story to that.
Oh, 100%. Imagine me in Thomas's corner. And no, because it's not at the same time, though, it's not my responsibility for Charlie to be good enough to beat Asomba, or is it my responsibility for someone to be good enough to beat Charlie? However, I would entertain the fight because for my fighter, Thomas, which is the priority, it'll probably be one of the biggest domestic fights he can get. At a good level, well named with the backstories, fought me, so everyone that knows me knows him. I manage him, everyone knows that. If he fought my brother, everyone would know at least, is that kid that it'll be a bit like of a niche. They wouldn't be able to do it. And I'm not personally, I'm obviously personally invested, but I see boxing as a bit different to a lot of people. Like, oh no, they're not fighting, I wouldn't let them fight. Nah. If Thomas is the champion, he's getting one of his best offers, his best offer from Charlie, and my brother has an opportunity to fight for a European title, if anything, that's like the best case scenario, really. And if he can't beat Thomas, then Thomas is the champion and pushes on, and I'm behind him. If he does beat Thomas, then I push on with Thomas and do whatever we can for him on the other side of that. But for Thomas, it's about delivering big fights, big nights, money, really, with what he's had to do to get here. You know, fighting all these fights people have enjoyed and building up all these fighters last week, last minute notice, but getting paid like 5,000-6,000 to do it. You know what I mean? Now as a champion, TV behind him, like, give him a proper purse and he'll fight anyone.
Let's see. And I can't let you go without speaking about yourself as well. There's rumours of you fighting in the States, but I know last time I spoke to you, you wanted to fight in Sheffield as well. So where do you stand with it all?
I want to fight in Sheffield. I know I'm a draw here. When I fought here on with no big promoter behind me, no TV network behind me, it was a good show. It was a good event. Everyone that went, it was buzzing with it. There was good fights, even though it's a cheap undercard in the grand scheme of things. And yeah, we did 4,000 people in there. There was big shows with big names, big draws in their home cities and other cities, with half the people in the same month, with big promoters behind them as well. Put me in Sheffield, I'll show what my value is. Keep me away from Sheffield for fight. Why I'm not building my value in Sheffield. And two, when we have conversations, negotiating, it's, well, that show in London was a bit weak. Well, yeah, because I said I don't fight in London, I'm not drawing London. From 18 years old, from 0 to 18, I was, well, 9 to 18, I was pretty much a professional amateur boxer, training like a professional as a 9, 10, 11-year-old amateur, only in boxing gyms. I weren't the most social person. I weren't just out hanging around, getting up to no good. And then 18, I've been up Sheffield, creating my adult world here. So you put a show on in Sheffield, I've got thousands and thousands and thousands of people turning up, flooding the fucking city centre. The after party had people trying to get in for hours and hours, couldn't get in. Like, but you fight me in Sheffield, no one cares about me. In London, no one cares about me in London.
There'll be people watching this saying, he's exaggerating, but I can assure you, you're not, because I was there, I saw it all firsthand. And
it was a show that just had people chucked in. It weren't like, like the big promoters, they cut that side, carpet that bit, curtain, that bit, and then put all of the fans in front. Like, if they'd done that, it would have looked like a fucking unreal show, and it would have blown people's minds. But they saw the empty seats a bit, but that bowl weren't even open. You know what I mean? But yeah, it was a great fight, great night.
How's the conversation going between you and Eddie? Because I'm guessing he wants to get you back in Arizona. And I'm not going to lie, Arizona was dead. I was there for your fight, and it's a dead little town, man. I'd rather see you in Sheffield.
I don't know. Arizona is probably the Sheffield of America. What do you mean? I thought Arizona was good. I thought the venue was good. The venue I went to watch the basketball, even better.
You can't walk anywhere. You got to drive everywhere.
Yeah, but we had a car, and 20 minutes away there was, I think it was called Scottsdale or something, and that was like, it had Louis Vuitton, it had Dior, it had all the shopping centre, like, so it had everything really. Yeah, okay, it's a bit further everywhere, but that's because there's so much space over there, so it always is going to be in it.
When will the decision get made about your next fight?
I'll be real. We have to have some conversations this week, so hopefully I'll know. Like I said, what people have heard of is what. Okay, yeah, it's not happening, but it's what's getting half offered to me, and I'm interested. I'm interested in any storyline that a promoter wants to create, because I don't really care who I fight. I just want, event, me there, like, and I want the best. I want big. I want people to see a poster and care. I lost against Bam. That's still one of the best nights of my life. You know what I mean?
I appreciate your time, and we'll catch you later in the week. Thank you.
I got a question for you. Where can discipline take you? Discipline points you toward your goals.